We're teaching employers that they don't actually need to come to the bargaining table and to meaningfully negotiate with their workers.
Organized labor figures are condemning the federal government's move to end port strikes and lockouts through the use of binding arbitration. But a report commissioned by the previous labor minister finds that the threat of binding arbitration makes a negotiated settlement less likely even before it's invoked.
If the parties see that the history suggests that government is not going to let a long strike or lockout go on and that they're going to impose binding arbitration, well, at that point, it changes their bargaining behavior.
Queen's University professors Anthony Giles and Kevin Banks were asked by the previous labor minister to look into earlier strikes at BC ports. They found both sides were aware the federal government might step in, and that affected things.
They're reluctant to make a concession at the table because arbitrators start from what the last offers each side made in bargaining. So they say to themselves, if we find ourselves in front of an arbitrator, we want to have a number of positions that we would have been willing to give on, but we'll just let the arbitrator figure it out.
When you're already anticipating that government will swoop in to solve a problem for you, how much time and energy are you really committing to at the table? And so it really does undermine the value of collective bargaining.
The federal government has repeatedly stated its commitment to collective bargaining, but the Canadian Labour Congress has concerns about how it handled port disruptions. There's a ban on scab workers in federally regulated industries, but that doesn't come into effect until next year. Yet at the Port of Quebec, locked-out workers were replaced by strike breakers.
The CIRB could have been instructed to disallow the use of scabs in the interim period of time. That legislation could have come to fruition sooner, so that those workers could have gotten back to work under a negotiated settlement, because the employer would have been forced to actually get to that bargaining table and have a conversation about ending that particular dispute.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.